Yo, what's going on, Berry Boys? Welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Today we're doing a tier maker for all of these Stranger Things characters, literally every character. Before we get in the video, make sure you hit that like button and definitely don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I am almost to 6K, so if you guys can make that happen, I would appreciate you so freaking much. But without further ado, let's rank all my favorite Stranger Things characters from worst to best. Let's go. Starting off easy with my boy Fred. Vecna did him dirty in, I think, season 4, episode 2. I'm not 100% sure when he died. I kind of forgot about him. But I do like the character, but was he needed though? Was he actually needed? I'm going to put in bad. I don't think he was the best character, but I think he's a pretty cool character, and he got destroyed by Vecna's hand. So, yeah, that's nice. Moving on to the Mind Flayer. I think this is a badass villain, and to be honest, I put the Mind Flayer at God tier. I think the Mind Flayer is insane. I think what it does is crazy. Moving on to Mike Wheeler's sister. I actually don't know what her name is. She has some comedic lines in the show that I guess are pretty funny, but then again, she's like a kid. I think she's also bad. I don't think she's a phenomenal character, but I think she has some good effects to the show of Stranger Things. Moving on to Cougar Karen Wheeler. This smoke show of a character. I don't think she's really important to the story. I'm gonna put her at bad. No, I'm gonna put her at okay. She's better than all the other parents, I will say that. But other than Joyce and Hopper and all that, but I think she's a decent character that you know. Moving on to Chrissy Cunningham, I think that's her name. She died in episode 1. She was a good character. I'm going to put her at bad again. Now, I'm not saying these characters are bad. It's just the tier says they're bad. I actually genuinely enjoy her as a character. I think she was good, but she died super fast. So, I mean, Moving on to 11, I'm going to put her at God tier. I think she is definitely a beast. She's got the coolest powers ever. And I just think she's super freaking strong, super awesome. I love Millie Bobby Brown, and I love her and Mike's relationship. I think she's a great character, and I'm going to put her at God tier. Moving on to number 8, I think she's a terrible character. Also a terrible episode. Episode 7 of season 2 was a very bad episode, and I did not like it, and I didn't like her in it, and I just wish that episode never existed. That is the worst episode in Stranger Things history, and you cannot even lie to me that is not. Moving on to Will Byers. I think Will Byers is definitely one of the most awesome characters ever. He's got an amazing storyline. I'm going to put him in love for right now. I'm definitely going to put him in love. But I think Will is definitely one of the characters that you fall in love with, and I think that his story is just crazy. He got taken by either Vecna or Demogorgon at the beginning of season 1. He was gone the whole season. He came back in season 2. He was attacked by the Mind Flayer. He has some cool powers now or whatever. He could sense when bad things are happening. And I think he's just a very powerful character, and I love his story, and I love him. He's a great character. Moving on to the girl. I think this is the girl that actually watches Eleven's mom. I'm not 100% sure. I think she's also a pretty bad character. Pretty minor character. We only see her for a couple scenes. So, I mean, she's not, too important, but she's definitely, she's terrible. Moving on to Holly. I think that's her name. Holly. I'm pretty sure the guy that, the girl that Billy kills in season 3. I think she's also a pretty minor character. I'm going to put her at bad. I think Chrissy Cunningham is probably the best of all these, though. I'm going to put her at bad. I just don't think she's very important, and she gets destroyed, and her parents die, too, because they kill her. They kill her parents, and, she's just not my favorite character. Moving on to Erica Sinclair. Now, she has stepped up from a very minor role in the past, 3 seasons to now, one of the main couple characters in the show, and I really enjoy Erica whenever she's on scene. I think she's super funny. She's got that really cocky attitude, but she's super freaking smart. I'm gonna put her at love. I love Erica as a character. I think she's great. Moving on to Nancy Wheeler. She has definitely stepped up to being one of the most badass characters in season 4. I love Nancy. I gotta put her at love. I think she's a great character. She's definitely stepped up from the past season. She was kind of a character for me, but now I really enjoy her on scene, and she's great. She's super funny, she's awesome, and she's super freaking badass once again. Moving on to Argyle, the brand new character in season 4. I think he's an okay character. He's a stoner, he's funny, he's super freaking funny, and I just love the scenes that he's in. I just think he's kind of the same level as Karen Wheeler. I don't love him yet. He's getting there, but I don't love him yet. Next up, we have Susie, Dustin's girlfriend. I think she's a great character, and I think she's going to step up to be one of the the better roles, but I do think she's okay for right now. She hasn't been in the show as much as I want her to so far, but she's definitely been in it quite a bit amount where I can say that I officially think she is an okay character. Moving on to Max Mayfield. I love Max. I love Max. She's a great character. She's awesome. She's stepped up to be one of the best characters in the show. Coming from season 2, from no one knowing who she was to being one of the most badass, coolest characters, I think, in Stranger Things ever. She's awesome. Next up, we have this person that I don't know. I'm going to put her at terrible. I hate her. I don't know who she is, so I'm just going to say I hate her. Angela, god damn it, I hate this character. I think she's a very, very douche-nozzly, doucher. And I do not like Angela, and I hope 11 meets up with her one more time in the next coming episodes, or the next 2 episodes, I guess. I have no idea who this is. This is just the snobby girls, I think, from the roller rink. We have Dustin's mom. She's not a very big character. I'm going to put her at bad again. To be honest, I don't know much about Dustin's mom. She's been in it for like 5 episodes, but she's not in it very much. And I just think she's okay. She's pretty cool. She's a bad character, but like, you know what I mean? Like, she's not bad. She's just there. Moving on to the mayor. I hate this guy. He is a douchebag, and he is a scumbag, and he's a terrible human being, and I do not like him. Next up, we have Bob. Guys, I didn't know how I felt about Sean Astin coming back and playing as Bob as a character in season 2, but I definitely turned out that I really, really enjoyed his presence, and I think he's a very, very good person in the show, and I really loved him up until he died. I'm gonna put him at okay. I think he sacrificed his life. He had this like really upcoming scene that he was gonna save the day, but you already know Hopper's got to steal the girl. You know what I'm saying? Bob's got to go, so get him out of there. Lucas Sinclair is another character that I love so freaking much, dearest to my heart. He's stepped up to be one of my favorites, actually. One of my favorite characters of the show. I don't think he's God tier, but I think he's definitely one of my favorites in the show ever. He's nice in a way, but he also could be a dick. He's just Lucas. He's just Lucas. These are the characters from episode 7 of season 2. I just don't like them at all. This is Max's father. He is a douchebag beating machine, and I freaking hate him. Moving on to Mike Wheeler's dad. I think he is a really bizarre character. He doesn't really do much, and he's kind of awkward. He's your regular good old American dad, and I just do not like him. Moving on to Troy Walsh. He is a douchebag, and I'm so glad 11 made him piss his pants in the gym. He's just not a very good person. Moving on to Murray. One of the best characters, I think, on the come up of Stranger Things, and I have to put him at love. I love Murray. He's a great character. Goddamn, I can't wait to see more of him in Volume 2. Next up, we got this prick that was videotaping him. I don't know who this is either. Doris, I'm going to put a bad. I'm going to put a terrible. I didn't like her. This kid, he can move a Rubik's Cube, I think. He's a minor character. I really didn't get to love him and know him, as much as I wanted to, but, he's there. Moving on to Hopper, guys. Hopper, he is God tier. He is one of the best characters in the show. I think his storyline's great. His love interest with Joyce is amazing. And he's just the most badass character. And he just always comes in and saves the frickin' day. And I can't wait for 11 and him to reunite in Volume 2. Max's mom, pretty minor role. I don't really, get to know her very much. But she was okay. Moving on to Billy. Guys, I love Billy. I think he's a great character. He stepped up to be one of the coolest characters. I know he's kind of a douchebag in the past seasons. But goddamn, in Season 3, when he saved the day, that moment just turned for me, and I fell in love with Billy. I really did. Moving on to Eddie. Oh my God, Eddie Munson. Holy crap, do not get me started with Eddie Munson. He is the most badass, funniest, hellfiring club mother trucking freaking dude I have ever seen in a TV show. He is so freaking awesome. We got Papa. I think he's an okay character. He's kind of stepped up this season, and I thought he was dead, but I guess he never died, so he's pretty cool. He's okay. Robin, you already know I got to put her at love. I think she's an awesome character. She's badass. She's funny. Her and Steve's friendship is just the most perfect, pure friendship I have ever seen in my life. I love Robin. This guy, I'm going to put him at terrible. He was a douchebag. I think this is the writer, I'm pretty sure. The post guy. He dies. Season 3. Spoiler alert. Robin's love interest, I'm going to put her at terrible. I haven't met her yet, so I don't know. I don't know how good she is, if she could maybe be a cool character in season 5. I have no idea. Next up, we got the Demodog. I think the Demodogs are badass, especially when they're in a pack of like 200. They're pretty freaking scary. This prick, put at the bottom. This is Tommy's girlfriend. I also think she was actually, I'll put her at bad. She was minor, but she was decent. She has some good lines in the show. Moving on to Lonnie. He's a prick. Hate him. I could not care less about him. He tries to steal Joyce's money, and I just think he's a very bad character. Next up, I love Joyce Byers. I think she's a perfect mom. She's awesome. She's the best mom in the show, and I just think she loves all these kids so freaking much that she'd do anything for them, and I hope she doesn't die in Stranger Things 4 Volume 2. I really do. Next up, we have by far one of my favorite characters in Stranger Things, probably if not my favorite character in Stranger Things ever, is Mike Wheeler. I love Mike. I put him above 11. I think he is the best character. He's always been my favorite since the beginning. He's just so freaking cool, and he loves 11 so much, and I just love his story and how he's like kind of the leader of this friend group at the beginning of season 1, and he's still basically the main guy. I mean, other than like Dustin kind of stepping up to being one of the major roles of the 4 little kids, but goddamn, I think Mike is probably one of the coolest characters, and he's badass as shit. Next up, we have Dustin Henderson. By far, I think he's God tier. I think Dustin is the coolest character. He was slept on. He's the kid in the beginning with the lisp, and I think that added so much personality to this character. He's so goddamn funny. So goddamn funny. His scenes with Steve Harrington are so freaking good. God damn, I love Dustin as a character. He's awesome. Next up, we have 3 bangers in a row. We have Steve Harrington. He's another God tier. He is the mom of the group. He will always protect these kids, and he will lay down his life. And if Steve dies in Stranger Things 4 Volume 2, I will sue Netflix. No, I'm not going to sue Netflix, but I will rant a good long time about it. And you guys will not stop hearing it from me. Next up, we have this character that I don't know, Barb. I think she was a very minor role. Actually, I'll put Barb at okay. She didn't deserve to die. She did not deserve to die. But I'll put her at okay. I love the Demogorgon. I'm going to put the Demogorgon up in God tier. I think the Demogorgon is by far one of the best villains in the show. I think it's one of the best. I think it's one of the best and coolest things in the show. It is literally the face of Stranger Things is the Demogorgon, and I think it's super badass. Moving on to Vecna is God tier. Goddamn, this is the coolest villain yet. I know I just said the Demogorgon is the coolest villain, but goddamn, Vecna is a badass, and I cannot wait for him to kill more people in Volume 2. I really can't. I know that's bad for me to say, but goddamn it, I want Vecna to kill. I love his death scenes. They're sick. Next up, we have Troy's friend. I'm putting him at terrible. He's an ass character. This douchebag. I got it. The way this character just looks just pisses me off. Luke's his dad. I'm also going to put him at, I'll put him at okay. He's a nice dad. He's a good dude. Jason, I'll put it okay. I think Jason is like a badass character. He's just kind of a douche nozzle. And I think he's very stupid for being the way that he is right now. And I think that he will die to Vecna in Volume 2. Mark my words. I said it right here. Predictions are made. Moving on to Jonathan. I think Jonathan is an okay character. I know I'm putting him at the okay tier. Something about him just pisses me off. And I don't know what it is. I don't love him, but I don't hate him. I think he's just there. Same with Tommy. I love Tommy. Tommy was cool. I love Chester Rushing, by the way, the actor. Chester Rushing, if you watch this video, make sure you give me one big smooch. I love you. But I'm going to put him at okay. I think he's not the best character, but he's not the worst. I think he's just in the middle. And then Alexi is by far, I love Alexi. He was the coolest new character added in season 3. And I'm so sad he died. It was very, very sad. But this is my finished tier list. I know it's not perfect, and I probably would move things around if I went through it like more perfectly, if that's a word. But perfectly. Yep, we're going to count that. Yep. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next reaction video or the next video that I post. Peace.